6 months from now, you'll be in one of two places. In the first, you're the same person watching the same videos wondering why nothing sticks. In the second, you've become someone you don't fully recognize, not because you got motivated, but because you made motivation irrelevant. The difference isn't talent or time. It's whether you're willing to do what a Japanese referee does before every match. Step into a circle with no way out. Today, I'm handing you the circle. Now listen, you're not watching this because you lack motivation. You're watching this because motivation has failed you 1,000 times, hasn't it? And I want you to know something right now. That's not your fault. You haven't been weak. You haven't been lazy. You've been playing a game that was designed for you to lose. Because everything we've been taught about building habits, about creating consistency, about changing our lives, it's all built on this idea that if you just feel inspired enough, if you just want it badly enough, you'll magically find the strength to keep going. But that's a lie. And deep down, you already know it's a lie because you've lived through the collapse of that lie dozens of times. This video isn't about trying harder. It's about a counterintuitive truth that's going to sound almost offensive when you first hear it. Consistency doesn't come from building willpower. It comes from eliminating choice. The system I'm about to share with you, the Gyoji system, it reveals why your past attempts collapsed. And I mean really collapsed, not just faded away. They collapsed because you designed them with exit ramps. You built yourself escape hatches. You gave yourself permission to negotiate with your commitment every single morning. And what I'm going to show you is how to architect your life so that showing up isn't a choice you make. It's the only option that feels real. This isn't discipline as suffering. This is discipline as structural inevitability. And I know that sounds intense, but stay with me, because by the end of this, it's going to feel like freedom. So let me take you to Japan. Let me take you inside a sumo wrestling ring, because that's where this whole thing begins. In the sacred tradition of sumo wrestling, there's a figure called the Gyoji. He's the referee, and when he enters that ring, he's wearing these beautiful ceremonial robes, silk and elaborate, and he's carrying what's called a gunbai fan, this wooden paddle that he uses to signal decisions and guide the match. To the spectators, he looks dignified, almost peaceful. But here's what most people don't see. Hidden beneath those robes, tucked into his belt at his waist, there's a blade, a tanto, a short Japanese knife. And this isn't decorative. This isn't symbolic theater. Historically, if a gyoji made a catastrophically wrong call, a call that dishonored the match, that violated the sacred rules of sumo, tradition held that he would ritually take his own life with that blade. Now, modern gyojis don't follow through on that anymore. The world has changed. But here's what hasn't changed. They still wear the blade. Every single match. Every single day. They step into that ring knowing that the blade is there, pressed against their body, reminding them of something so profound it gives me chills every time I think about it. That blade is a vow. It's a promise. It's a statement to themselves and to the universe that says, I have structured my identity so completely around this commitment that backing down, failing, retreating, those things would mean becoming someone I no longer recognize. The blade isn't a threat. It's a love letter to their commitment. Now, I want you to sit with that for a second. Imagine preparing for your work, for your daily practice, for the thing you say you want to do, knowing that failure isn't just disappointing, it's existentially unacceptable. Not because someone's going to punish you, not because you're going to face external consequences, but because you've made a vow to yourself that retreat simply isn't in your vocabulary anymore. The Gyoji doesn't wake up in the morning wondering if he's going to show up to the match today. That question doesn't exist in his mind. He's already in the ring. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, he's already there. The blade is the reminder. I cannot go backward. There is no exit behind me. And here's where it gets uncomfortable for us. Because now I want you to think about your gym routine, your creative project, your business idea, That promise you made to yourself to finally change. How many exit ramps have you built into that commitment? Be honest. I'll start Monday. I deserve a break. One day won't hurt. I'm being too hard on myself. Life got busy. I'll get back to it when things calm down. Every single one of those statements is an unlocked exit door, and your brain, brilliant as it is, knows those doors are there. So every single morning, you're not just deciding whether to do the thing, you're deciding whether to walk through one of those doors. And that decision, that negotiation, that's what's killing you. That's what's draining your willpower. That's why you feel exhausted before you even begin. The Gyoji system asks a radical question. What if you remove those exits, not through shame, not through self-punishment, but through structural design? What if you made the cost of quitting so emotionally, socially, or logistically high that continuation becomes the path of least resistance? What if showing up becomes easier than not showing up? Let me tell you about someone I know. I'm going to call her Maria, though that's not her real name. Maria struggled with waking up early for 20 years. 20 years. She tried every morning routine program, every alarm app, every motivational strategy. She listened to podcasts while she was lying in bed. She set intentions, she visualized. Nothing worked. She would wake up, feel that gravitational pull of her warm bed, and think, just 10 more minutes. And 10 minutes would become 2 hours, every single time. Then, one Sunday night, Maria did something that everyone thought was crazy. She took every comfortable piece of clothing she owned, every pair of sweatpants, every set of pajamas, every cozy hoodie, every soft t-shirt, and she donated them, all of them, gone. The next morning she woke up, and she had exactly 2 choices. Put on real clothes, jeans, and a proper shirt, the kind of clothes you wear when you're actually starting your day, or stay in bed in her underwear. That's it. Those were the options. And here's what happened. Suddenly, getting dressed meant getting ready for the day. There was no middle ground. There was no comfortable lounging zone where she could tell herself she was sort of awake, but not really committed. The loop was closed. The exit was sealed. And Maria told me that the first week felt like living in someone else's skin. She resented it. She felt the rigidity. She mourned her comfort. She actually got angry at herself for doing something so extreme. But by week 3, something strange happened. She stopped thinking about it. The internal negotiation, should I get up or should I sleep in? It just vanished. Her body started moving automatically because the system had removed the middle ground where resistance lives. Now, here's the psychology behind this. And this is so important, I need you to really hear me. Every time you decide whether to do the thing, you burn willpower. Decision fatigue is real. It's documented. It's not a metaphor. Your brain has a limited amount of decision-making energy every single day, and every choice, even tiny ones, depletes that reserve. So when you wake up and you start negotiating with yourself about whether today is the day you're going to work out, whether today is the day you're going to write, whether today is the day you're going to make that sales call, you're bleeding energy before you've even started. You're spending your most precious psychological resource on a decision that shouldn't exist. The Gyoji system doesn't fight that. It eliminates the decision entirely. You're not choosing to show up. You're already there. The exit door is locked, boarded up, cemented over, and your brain, brilliant and efficient as it is, stops scanning for escape routes and starts solving the problem in front of it. It shifts from, how do I get out of this, to, how do I win at this? And that shift, my friend, that's where transformation lives. But I need to be honest with you about something, because I don't want you to take this system and turn it into a weapon against yourself. Is this extreme? Yes. Could it tip into rigidity or self-punishment? Absolutely. And that's why you must pair this with absolute clarity on why you're building this cage. If you're building it from a place of self-hatred, if you're building it because you think you're broken and you need to be fixed, if you're building it because you hate who you are right now, then this becomes a prison. It becomes torture. It becomes another way you're being cruel to yourself. But if you're building it from love, if you're building it as a gift to your future self, as a structure for the part of you that genuinely wants transformation, as an act of devotion to the person you're becoming, then it becomes liberation. Then it becomes the most loving thing you could possibly do. Because what you're really saying is, I love who I'm becoming so much that I'm willing to make it impossible for me to abandon them. I'm willing to close the doors that lead away from that person. I'm willing to step into the ring and stay there. So let me break this down for you. Let me give you the core truths that make the system work, because you need to understand these at a bone deep level before you start applying them. First truth: discipline is architecture, not emotion. Stop trying to feel disciplined. Stop waiting for the day when you finally feel like the kind of person who just naturally does the thing. That day isn't coming. What you need to do instead is design your life so that the desired action is the path of least resistance. Remove the need for heroism. Remove the need for exceptional willpower. Make it easier to do the thing than to not do the thing. Second truth: the exit door is the enemy. Every backup plan, every just this once, every soft landing you create for yourself when you fail, those aren't compassion. They're trapdoors that will swallow you whole. Because once your brain knows the trapdoor exists, it will find it. It will use it. Consistency comes from burning the boats, from making retreat so unthinkable that forward is the only direction left. Third truth: the blade is a vow, not a threat. I need you to understand this because it's the difference between healthy structure and toxic rigidity. The Gyoji's blade isn't about fear. It's not about punishing himself if he makes a mistake. It's about identity. It's about who he's decided to be. You wear the blade, metaphorically, in your own life, to remind yourself of your commitment, not to threaten yourself if you're weak. It's a love letter. It's a promise. It's a daily reminder that you've chosen this path not because you have to, but because it's who you are. Fourth truth: rigidity requires self-knowledge. You must know why you're doing this. You must know what you're building toward. If your goal is rooted in shame, the system will crush you. It'll become one more thing you've failed at, one more piece of evidence that you're not good enough. But if it's rooted in vision, in a clear picture of who you want to become and why that person matters, then the system will carry you. It'll become the container that holds you steady while you transform. And here's the paradox I want you to sit with, because paradoxes are where the deepest truths hide. The scariest discipline feels like giving up control. It feels like you're locking yourself into something rigid, something that doesn't allow for flexibility or grace or self-compassion. But what you're actually giving up is the illusion of control. You're giving up the fantasy that you can negotiate your way to greatness, that you can keep one foot in your old life while stepping into your new one. That fantasy is what's been keeping you stuck. The Gyoji system asks you to let it go. So now, let's get practical. You're sitting here, you're listening to this, and you're thinking, okay, I get it, but what do I actually do? Let me give you 3 immediate steps, 3 things you can do today that will close your first exit door. Step 1, identify your ring. What's the one behavior that, if you did it every single day for the next 6 months, would fundamentally transform your life? Not 5 behaviors, not a whole morning routine. 1, and it has to be specific. Exercise is too vague. 20 push-ups before my first cup of coffee is a ring you can step into. Write is too vague. 300 words before I check my phone is a ring. Eat better is too vague. No sugar with breakfast is a ring. Make it small enough that it feels almost laughably easy, and specific enough that there's no room for interpretation. Step 2, eliminate one exit. Find the most common excuse you use to bail on your commitment. The one that shows up every single time. Maybe it's, I don't have time. Maybe it's, I'm too tired. Maybe it's, I'll do it later. Now remove the physical possibility of that excuse being true. Want to write every morning? Delete every social media app from your phone the night before. Want to work out? Sleep in your workout clothes. Want to eat healthy? Don't buy junk food. Don't bring it into your house. The point isn't willpower. The point is logistics. Make it logistically difficult to fail. Step 3. Wear your blade. Create a tangible reminder of your vow. This is so important because your brain will try to forget. It'll try to pretend the commitment doesn't exist. So, make it visible. Put a note on your bathroom mirror. Send yourself a daily text message. Carry a small object in your pocket, a coin, a stone, anything that you can touch and feel, and remember why you're doing this. The blade isn't about fear. It's about remembrance. It's about keeping your vow alive in your awareness every single day. And here's what I need you to understand. Start with one ring, one commitment, one closed circle. Don't try to gyoji your entire life in a single day. Don't close every exit door at once. Because if you do, you'll overwhelm yourself, you'll burn out, and you'll be right back where you started, convinced that you're just not the kind of person who can change. The Gyoji doesn't referee 10 matches at once. He gives everything he has to the one in front of him. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Pick one thing. Close one door. Master that before you add another. You walked into this video looking for motivation. I hope you're leaving with something better. I hope you're leaving with a blueprint for making motivation irrelevant. Because the Gyoji doesn't step into the ring hoping he'll feel brave that day. He doesn't cross his fingers and wish for confidence. He steps into the ring knowing that retreat isn't an option. And because retreat isn't an option, bravery becomes automatic. Courage becomes the default setting. Not because he's special, not because he's stronger than you, but because he's removed the alternative. What you've learned today is that consistency isn't about fighting yourself harder. It's not about white-knuckling your way through temptation. It's about loving yourself enough to close the exit doors. It's about designing a life where the person you want to become is the only role available to you. It's about stepping into a ring with no way out and discovering that the ring doesn't trap you. It frees you. So here's what I want you to carry with you. Here's the mantra I want you to repeat when things get hard, when you feel that old pull toward the exit. I am not building discipline. I am building a ring I can't leave. And that ring is setting me free. If this perspective shifted something in you, if you felt that quiet click of recognition, that moment where something inside you said, yes, this is true, I want you to let me know in the comments. Tell me what ring you're stepping into. Tell me what door you're closing. Because I'm not just making content here. I'm building a community of people who are done negotiating with mediocrity, who are ready to commit at a level that scares them a little bit. And if this is the kind of truth you want more of, the uncomfortable kind, the structural kind, the transformative kind, then subscribe. Not because I need you to, but because you deserve reminders that you're capable of more than gentle failure. You deserve to hear, over and over again, that you're not broken. You've just been building with too many doors. Now go close one.